In one of my previous posts, I mentioned that the evil in this world is perpetuated by more than just men in business suits, and that the understanding of this is pivotal if you truly wish to grasp what's been playing out for quite some time. So you know about the New World Order, a concerted effort by low people in high places to push a worldwide overarching agenda to systematically and incrementally erode human qualities and freedom of mind, all the while being unaware of it. But what seems to be less talked about, though it's gained serious momentum, is the supernatural, esoteric, and paranormal aspects of the NWO. In my younger years, I used to play a lot of video games and watch a lot of cartoons. Like many, one of my favorites was always Pokemon, the pocket monsters, and every now and then, Digimon, the digital monsters. See how cute they are? I also really enjoyed Yu-Gi-Oh!, the card game and television series, which was similar to the others in that characters battled with the captured spirits of ancient monsters locked in Egyptian tablets that were released with the assistance of enchanted relics bearing the all-seeing eye. The main character, a teenage boy possessed by the spirit of a pharaoh, wears one of these relics, an inverted pyramid, again with the all-seeing eye worn around his neck secured with a chain. The characters used highly advanced and sophisticated holographic technology that is able to render enormous lifelike holograms of the various ancient monsters, often used to terrorize the city. But one of the games I never really got into, though I did manage to watch the show from time to time, was Monster Rancher. Again, can you spot the one-eyed symbolism? Look familiar? The storyline and premise was virtually the same as the others: collect, capture, and evolve your monster and attempt to become the best. Just the name alone though, right? Monster Rancher, and let's just call them for what they really are, fallen angelic hosts and disembodied spirits of the Nephilim, reminded me of something I looked into a little while ago called the Urantia book. Maybe you've heard of it. It's said to contain the corrected errors and omissions of the Bible. Now, the author is anonymous, but some speculate it was written or influenced by angelic hosts. Biblical researcher and author Eli Marzulli highlights in his book the cosmic chess match, this sort of move-counter-move scenario between the forces of good and evil, or God and the devil. Though Satan is a defeated foe, there seems to be a very real battle playing out right now in this realm. I truly believe that for everything spiritual there is or will be a physical manifestation eventually, and in many ways we can actually see this match being played out. We are continually being primed, gauged, and assessed for each unveiling of the next successive move, but it can often be difficult to accurately predict the sequence of unfolding agendas, so what about an endgame scenario? The last card, right? As a species, we've seen war, prolonged economic hardship, genocide, the list goes on. And while on the surface, that chaos, which appears to be conflict and catastrophe that would naturally arise over fundamental differences of lack of view and insight, is actually very carefully calculated and orchestrated events. So, appropriately, the next move would be as well. But to effectively transition from one paradigm to the next and tie into something as massive as the intricate conundrum of the New World Order, it would have to be so jarring, so utterly game-changing. People would drop their beliefs or previously held worldview and begin scrambling for answers, likely choking down the smorgasbord of narratives the establishment will undoubtedly already have under the warmer ready to serve. Cartoons, video games, there seems to be this successful attempt to coax the masses into becoming cozy with what are otherwise ghastly demonic entities. By rendering them as approachable and sometimes even cute, we lower our guard and miss entirely what they are actually modeled after. This is one of the first steps of programming, gradually conditioning the mind to accept a proposed outcome. So what do monsters, creatures, and advanced holographics do with all this? I'm sure you know where I'm heading. Project Blue Beam. The idea that there could be a staged alien invasion utilizing highly advanced and sophisticated holographic technology in conjunction with aerial vehicles piloted by humans constructed using knowledge obtained by, much like the Urantia book, fallen angelic hosts. This is the Independence Day scenario that might be used to set a new worldwide precedent for threat assessment and evaluation, which would likely lead to some form of tyrannical global governance, or at the very least would be a great icebreaker at the various conferences attended by our elite world leaders. I know many of you were thinking, holograms? Really? Look, you have to understand the technology in standard military research and development is years beyond anything you can purchase at your local Best Buy. Imagine Coachella 2012's holographic rendering of Tupac and forget about it. We're talking about something even more advanced than the urban photonic sand table display, also known as the holotable cooked up in the bowels of DARPA. See, we don't receive the real version of all the cool toys hidden away in the skunkworks of the various alphabet soups, so it can be hard to imagine the milieu of applications encompassing staged terror. But what if the invasion isn't staged at all? What if they tear the veil entirely and unleash hell on Earth? What then? There is another scenario that, in my humble opinion, is far more frightening than an alien invasion, and that's an intergalactic messiah. I've said it before, and you'll hear me say it again. Waking up isn't a one-day process where spontaneously all is understood. It's gradual and often includes being willing to admit when you're wrong. I say this because as I was going through the process of waking up, the first thing I woke up to was the philosophies and theologies of the New Age. And I don't mean I woke up as in I sussed out the deception. I mean I regularly practiced astral projection techniques and was attempting to make contact with interdimensional beings. I was a New Ager, however, I put all that stuff behind me. I told you that, so I can tell you this. In the New Age belief system, there is this idea that extraterrestrials can save us from ourselves by providing us with cleaner technology and a new way of life. You're looking at Ashtar of Ashtar Command and one of his agents, Jesus Sananda, no relation at all to Christ whatsoever. These are beings that, through a method of communication known as channeling, have contacted certain individuals revealing their existence and the existence of others like them, trying to assist humans evolve to our full potential. Darwin must have really hit the nail on the head if intergalactic visitors are quoting his theory of evolution. In an invasion type scenario, there is at least the hope of fighting off the invaders and everything returning to normal. In a Messiah scenario, we take humanity in an entirely different direction. Just remember what we're really wrestling against here. There are some very strange events unfolding around the world. We have to stay on our guard at all times. I'm going to leave it there. Thanks again for checking me out.